What does high score mean? New high score, is that bad? What does that mean? Should I break it?
Hello everyone, and welcome to Veteran Gaming. I am Aaron, and welcome to King Arthur Legends Rise. This is a game that I've kind of been tracking the progress of for a while, waiting for its release, and we are finally here in the early access phase, which means if you have a PC in the United States of America, you can go onto the website and download this game and play it right now, early access. Everything you do here in early access will filter into the game during the global launch. And right now, it seems like sources indicate that late December, it's going to be released on like iOS and Mac and Android kind of platforms. But if you have a PC right now, or some kind of emulator maybe, you can go ahead and download this game right now. So we're just going to go ahead and just do a little bit of shotgun blast introduction here to King Arthur Legends Rise. I'm not going to talk about any specific guides as of yet, because I've only been playing for about a week and I'm still figuring some stuff out too. I don't want to throw out bad information that isn't going to help you in the long run. I want to make sure I know what I'm talking about before I'm talking to you about it. So we're just going to do, like I said, a shotgun blast introduction to the game. So first of all, it is at main a hero collecting turn-based strategy RPG. A lot like Raid or Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, right? You're going to get your heroes here. Let's try to get my head out of the way. Really awesome artwork, by the way. The animations are incredible. You got Morgan, Sigrun, Tristan, some legendary heroes. Then you got rares like Turin, Arthur himself, Kay, Ban. A lot of the mythological characters you're going to get from King Arthur's stories are in the game so far. I think I heard somebody say there's like 70 heroes already. Here, let's just check the codex right here. So here's our legendaries that are currently in the game. Then you have your rares, your uncommons, and then some commons. So obviously legendary characters are going to be a little bit more powerful, but remember, especially in the early game, rare champions in a lot of games, this one included, are easier to upgrade, cheaper to upgrade. So you can maybe get a really overpowered rare, whereas legendaries are still really struggling for resources. So don't count out your rares just because they don't have that legendary tag next to them. The uncommons and commons for sure you can push to the side. Uncommons you can probably push to the side. Rare and legendary are where your meat and potatoes are going to be. Those are the ones you're going to play with a lot. Okay, so we talked about the heroes a little bit. It is a hero collecting strategy RPG, which means it's going to be turn-based combat, and you're going to have your main story here, main story and adventure modes, where you're going to pop through and earn rewards just like you would in, Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, Raid, really any of those types of games. That's pretty standard. You got your restricted area, which are your dungeons, right? So you're going to have a dungeon where you got this big pig boss, and you're going to get specific rewards from that. Then here with the big Gorgos guy, you're going to get money and experience potions. And then as you continue to level up, you're going to unlock these other dungeons on the side here. Really cool bosses. Then you have equipment dungeons where you're fighting the different kinds of dragons for what? These are offensive equipment sets, and these are defensive. And then later on, you're going to get some other ones here. So you are going to have gear sets in the game also, which adds to the complexity, which is always good, right? Like, this is what you want from a game. You want the complexity built in, because that way you're getting the sustainability, because that strategy really comes in. Like, you don't want just boring basic sets, because even though it's frustrating, you may not be getting the best stat rolls on them or struggling to get gear sets specifically. That's what makes these games sustainable and long, because if you just get them right away, then nobody cares. Who cares? There's no challenge to it. There's no reason to stick with it. So you're going to level up your heroes, right? You're going to give them gear. You're going to upgrade their relic levels. You got your hero overview here. You're also going to, where does it really show? So once you go into the codex here, if you click on, say, Morgan, who everybody gets for free, by the way, you're going to get a legendary for free. Then you got your abilities here, which is cool. And then you're going to upgrade them. So if I get more copies of Morgan, then I can turn them into what's called chivalry abilities. And let's see if I can just pull it up here real quick. Right, so then you're going to upgrade this kind of stuff. So here, if it is knight at the start of battle, grant damage dealt increase +1 to all allies. So as you get more copies, then you're going to upgrade more passives, basically, which is pretty cool. awaken. Once you get these rewards, then you can add these to the stars. Just makes them more powerful. And upgrading is getting those heroes up to level stars, so you can get them all the way up to level 60, which is the max level. And what I was talking about with like being cheaper, right? So you need 50 of these, 60 of these, and 10 of these. If you go to a rare champion, granted this is only like 40 to 50, but the same taking her up to 60 would actually be cheaper for the rare. So that's what I'm kind of talking about there. But you do still have the awakening ability and the chivalries for rare. Like I could put in 3 chivalry levels into rares right now. I'm just kind of waiting, picking and choosing, making sure I know which ones I want to. So the restricted areas here are pretty cool because like these dungeons, these require different heroes, and it'll actually give you like, so if you go up here to this star thing, I think this is pretty cool. So this is my strongest team, right? These are my level 50s. If I click on this star, it'll tell me a good idea of who I want to aim. These characters' abilities match versus this boss, which I think is pretty cool. That way, if you're not fully understanding what's going on, it'll give you some hits. And just like if you auto-equip gear, you know, auto-equipping gear in every game I've ever played, whether it's mods in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes or auto-equipping gear in like Raid or something like that, it's just atrocious, right? Like it's always going to get them wrong. But hey, it's something built in where if you're just going to play pretty passively, then you can at least throw some gear on and get some kind of bonuses in there. So you do have that ability too. So it can recommend some teams, it can recommend some gear. I don't recommend you sticking with that long term, but it's kind of nice to have that functionality. Another thing I want to show you right up here, just like Raid, they actually have the hero element relations, right? So Flame does more to Storm, Storm does more to Frost, Frost does more to Fire, and so on, right? And it's going to explain that a little bit. I really like that because it's just like Raid. It doesn't lock you into specific hero combinations. Like Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is a great game for what it is, but it's locking you into specific teams, right? Like you have to play the Sith with the Sith, the Rebels with the Rebels to get the most out of them most of the time. Here, it's so open-ended. So even though you're drawing heroes randomly from the Lake of Avalon here, right? Like you're just drawing these summons and you have no idea who you're going to get. Could be a rare, could be a common, could be uncommon. You can't really aim for people unless there is a specific rate up summon going on, which in this game it will then guarantee that you're going to get this Bedivere after 60 summons. But in general, like these Flame, you're going to get some Flame, but you're not picking a specific hero. So it's a lot of RNG on whether you're actually getting these legendary heroes, right? But the good thing, nope, I didn't want that. I wanted Codex. There we go. So you're just going to have to get lucky, essentially, unless you're on a raid up to get these kind of heroes. But it's nice because you don't absolutely have to have them paired with certain heroes, which I love. So you're going to get all of these different heroes, which is cool. But the other thing, I mentioned it earlier, and I want to just briefly go over it again. There's actually night and day bonuses for heroes. So on top of that already Flame, Storm, and what was the other one? Flame, Storm, and Frost. On top of that element triangle already, you're also getting night and day effects. So pretty cool. So like I said, this game is complex, which is good and bad. It can seem very overwhelming short term, but it's also good for a game to be complex because the more in-depth your strategies can be, typically the healthier a game is. Obviously, you can go too complex and nobody can even get into it. But in general, you want that complexity, right? So that's a good thing. On top of that, something that this game offers, even more than Raid, are you going to get AFK bonuses. Like here, I haven't played for a couple hours, so there you go. There's your XP. You're going to get this Orby thing, common mana orb from here. But there's also a building your castle element to this. I have a steel mill down here. I have a lumber yard. I will upgrade my different buildings here, like my forge, my market. What else we got? Later, going to get Stonemason's Workshop, the Relic Forge, that kind of stuff. So there is like a castle building element to the game too, which is pretty interesting. Something not a lot of games have that are your typical hero collecting strategy RPGs like this one. It's adding in another element. This is a very, like I said, a couple of times now, complex game. There's multiple different dungeon areas. There's Clan Raid. There's Forbidden Dungeon, which just gets progressively harder and harder and harder. And you see how many waves you can clear. Eternal Evolution had something like that. Doom Tower in Raid. I really like those game modes. these are your favorite dungeons, so that's how you upgrade your relic and awakening levels and stuff. And then later on, sealed temple, right? There's a lot to this game already at launch. So pretty cool. I am going to wrap up this video. And like I said, this is just Shotgun Blast. I'm going to be making more videos on this. I think it's a good game so far. I do want to see how they continue to release heroes and how bad the power creep is before I'm like, hey, everybody needs to play this game right now. But we're starting to head down that road. First thing I'll mention is I did start a clan here called Get Medieval. So if you want to play with me and download this game, go ahead and just send me an invite right there. Get Medieval, it says Veteran Gaming clan in the description. I'm the only one so far, so come on, join me. Let's start playing. Let's get a bunch of resources built up and heroes built up before the game goes on that global launch. Give us a little bit of a foot up. I'm not above that. Not above that, guys. And the last thing I want to do here is I actually have some summons built up. If you play the game for 7 days, you get a legendary hero summon, which is right about here. So this is what we're going to do. You know what? We're going to do that last. We're going to do that last. We're going to use some of these other summons real quick and see if we get anything good. And then we'll finish with the legendary. That way we know we're getting something good. There are some events for summons and typically events at all, or different events going on right now. So right now, went into the Plane of Beasts, which upgrades your hero power event, relic power from Frozen Plain, gold collecting event from anywhere, monster hunter ranking event. I'm currently level 5, not too shabby. Go, go, go. And then you got your arena challenge event too. So you got different events going on. There have been some where the more you summon, the more resources you get. So typically I would say, hey, let's hold on to these until later. Let's get those event points. But we're new to the game. We're early access. We're figuring stuff out. So we're going to go ahead and pull some, starting with 10 normal summons here, just so you guys can see the animations and everything, because somebody put a lot of work into these. This is pretty cool. So here we go. We got our fist. We just click on our fist. Excalibur comes out. We're around the lake. Oh, man. Was that like a really bad pull set? Did I even get a rare? Common, uncommon, uncommon, common, uncommon. Holy cow. I don't even know if I got a rare. That's atrocious. Boy, thanks for that on the video there, game. All right, here, let's do the special summon. We are guaranteed to get a rare every time we do 10 special summons, so let's do that. Let's get at least one rare, but hey, legendary would be pretty sweet too. Come on, Excalibur, don't let me down. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, big money. Ooh, 3 rares. Nice. Uncommon Jarrett. All right, the Jarrett's seen better days. Pelgarth, pretty sweet. All right, Accolon. I don't think I had an Accolon. Stormcaller. We got a rare Ralph. Oh, Ralph. Boy, that's an unfortunate name. Almost like they didn't care. You can see like the relic and like the frost down there. Great animation. Ralph, I know you're trying to be a bad guy, but with that name, that's just rough. Oh, we got a little gremlin with an axe bigger than he is. Lupaludi. Okay, that's weird. Finn, the Jared again. I think we got one more rare. Where you at? Ooh, an Anguish. I think Anguish is pretty good. I got one copy of him earlier. Haven't had a chance to play around too much. Well, we got 3 rares from that. It's pretty good. And an Anguish, who I think's pretty good. All right, so pretty cool. Let's go ahead and finish with our legendary. See who we can get. Where'd it go? Inventory. I'm still figuring out the menus. Here we go. Use. Who we got? I don't think I get to pick. Yeah, here we go.
Steadfast sword.
Oh, who are you? Is that Lancelot or something? That'd be pretty sweet. Oh, it is. Nice. Called that. Lancelot. Flame. Crimson Scar. Hello, Lancelot. Let's see what Lancelot does real quick. Go into our codex here. We get some gems because we now have Lancelot. All right. So on his 1 here, attacks 1 enemy 3 times, a multi-hitter. That's good. Total damage is based on attack and max HP. And he's got a 50% chance to inflict burn. On the A2 here, attacks one enemy, damage based on max HP and attack again, and has a chance to stun. That's fun. All right, here we go. Attacks all enemies 2 times on the A3. Total damage is attack and max HP again, too. That's awesome that he's factoring in some of that max HP. What do we got up here? Got a passive, can change the weather to rain and remove all debuffs. There's just so much in this game. When hit while weather is rain, he's going to gain a shield and recovery over time. When attacking while weather is rain, inflict a damage over time taken increase by 3 for 3 turns. Yeah, so there's like damage over time taken increase 1, 2, 3. Like, I'm telling you, this game, there's so much going on. He's got a leader, activates in all battles, grants all allies attack speed 20%. That's good. I actually do have another hero. I forget who it is off the top of my head, but his damage is based on attack. And he gets extra, I think it's Tristan, gets extra attack speed, attack damage bonus. So the faster he attacks, he also gains damage off it, which is cool. He's probably a glass cannon, but control equally increases stats in the order of attack, defense, and HP. Steed increases effect resistance, and rain. Heroes that prefer rain will receive environmental effects. Cool. What is this? Pairs with somebody? When Lancelot attacks an enemy with skill 1, 30% chance for teammate Lionel to use co-op attack. Alright, so an ally attacker too. So much in this game. We're just scratching the surface. A weekend and just scratching the surface. And yeah, we got a couple more. We got Ralph. We got Accolon. We're rounding out the rares, which is good because we need them. I really need to start working on some of my my dungeon teams here. So cool. There you go. That's all I'm going to talk about for tonight, guys. Hopefully you think the game is as interesting as I already think it is. Again, if you want to get involved, throw me an invite on either Discord with Veteran Gaming or just do it here in the game. Apply to the guild. We'll get up and running, and we'll see what the game's all about. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, throw it in the comments section down below. If you are already playing and enjoy it, just throw anything in the comments. Give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. I hope to see you guys on this game and other games. As always, guys, have fun. Good luck.
So I got that going for me, which is nice.